Ready for Halloween?
It's kind of annoying. I love Christmas.
There you go. You're welcome.
You like candy?
They have. Yeah.
You looking sharp. Yeah, draft Santa photo.
How many dump trucks do you have?
We
have two dump trucks outside.
so I just need an excavator.
Mama's gonna take your shot. We're gonna take your shot.
Oh,
Good job.
Guys, I was actually about to leave for the day and I came across this video and I thought it'd be necessary that we go over this video on this platform. MT Army, mount up. Now's the time. What is it that we're talking about here today? There's a video that's currently trending and going viral of a young boy walking around with a Halloween costume of a girl. Elsa, I think from the movie Frozen, children's movie that came out a couple of years ago. And this young boy is walking around dressed as a young girl. We must go over this. Why? There is an attack on masculinity. There is an attack on manhood. There is an attack on boys becoming men. So crazy is that when you look at what is happening, the powers that be seem to want to dim the light of men. And they do it in the most sinister way possible, through children, through young people. So we must get active. MT Army, mount up. Without further ado, we allowed our son to choose his Halloween costume.
Ready for Halloween?
It's kind of annoying. I love Christmas.
Frozen is his favorite movie, so he chose Elsa. I was hesitant to let him wear a dress at first. Oh, God.
You like candy?
You know what's so crazy also watching as well is that if you take a look at his mannerisms, right, he's holding the dress up in the air. He's doing like this weird walk prance thing. He's doing things that young girls might actually do. And my response to this, at least initially, is where is the father? Because that's when a father is supposed to step in to guide that young boy away from feminine behavior. But this is what happens when you do not have a man in the household. You do not get any type of structure, any type of limits, any type of framework, none of the above. You just get a child just creating it as they live. Let's keep watching.
They have.
Because society says so, question mark.
Yeah.
You looking sharp. Yeah, draft Santa photo.
How many dump trucks do you have?
We have
Look at this right here. Kids should be free to express themselves. My response to this is what if your young child wanted to eat ice cream every night, as what most kids would love to do? It is your job as a parent to tell them, no, it's not good for you. I don't want you to be overweight. What if your young child looks at cars traveling in the street and says, I want to go play in the street, mommy? It is your job to say no, because it is dangerous. These life lessons should not come as a consequence of the child becoming hurt because of your lack of parenting. See, that's your job as a parent, to guide. Because if not, they're just gonna just make things up. Your job as a parent is to guide. Your job as a parent is to not let your child accidentally kill themselves, because they thrust themselves in a situation that are dangerous. But also from a cultural norm, societal norm, and expectation conversations as well, you're gonna let them just run amok. So in that arena, you just let them just do whatever that they want. That's what happens when you begin to say that men and women are equal. The fall of the modern man today, demonstrated right here.
so I just need an excavator.
Mama's gonna take your shot. We're gonna take your shot.
Oh,
Good job.
This young terrorist in question seems to be his mother. I don't know who's actually recording this. I'm going to say that this is a LGBT type of relationship, one of which, if there's two people in the household, one is not a father. Two mothers, perhaps one playing a feminine role and one playing a masculine role, but still has the emotionality of women, imparting their emotional, irrational decision-making into the young boy, constructed him to be whoever that he wants to be, but do not understand the damage inflicted on him and the trauma which is going to cause issues into the future. If this conversation continues and there's not boundaries put into place to put in some type of requirement on the parents that allow these things to happen, I can only think that we're doomed. I can only think that we're doomed as a society. Once you lose sight of having strong men within our society, the society will absolutely crumble. And I think I take particular offense to videos like this because when I look at that young boy in his face, he looks like what I look like when I was his age. But see, the key difference there is that I was raised by my father as a young boy, having an example of a man, of a strong man who was the leader of his household and the leader of his family. There was no confusion of whether or not I was a boy. There was no confusion of whether or not it was okay to wear fingernail polish, which I never wanted to do. I do remember there was a time period when I was a kid where it was cool to get earrings. He X'd on that shit. It was also a period in the late 90s where boys were wearing colored contacts in their eyes. He X'd that shit. There was also a time period where in the early 2000s, late 90s, it was cool to get cornrows in your head. He X'd that shit as well. He wasn't a fan of any of this stuff. And I think that there's some argument there for longer hair, but he associated long hair with girls. And the thing is that I did not like his decision at that time, but as a grown man today, I understand it. Pops, I understood. I got it. So I'm going to make sure as a man, when I have kids, I'm going to instill those life lessons into the young boy that I may have, or even the young girl, to construct feminine roles and obligations and frameworks around her the same way that I would construct masculine gender roles and obligations around the young boy. One of the weirdest clown world things that we have in society today is that there's no difference in the genders anymore. Why don't y'all see this as a goddamn issue? Why does no one see that there's a damn problem with this? And the thing is that like what this seems to always come from is those parents that have too much time on their hands. It's like we've made it to a certain place in society where they no longer have to worry about the things that these impoverished third world countries have to worry about, specifically because men have pacified the society that we live in today and made it so easy for you to live that now you can sit down and consider your son's gender being on a goddamn spectrum, one of which you allow him to wear a dress with a blazer on. You want to talk about pure and utter confusion? Then that's it. You think that this issue is cute right now until this young boy grows of age. And let's say he's not a part of the LGBTQ tribe. And this footage is going to forever exist and be in his mindset. But it makes me also think, what else are you allowing him to learn or to be taught? What are you teaching him if this is what your normal is? And the crazy thing about watching things like this is how much of this is actually in our literature. Exhibit A, My Princess Boy, hardcover edition. Now, this is right on Amazon's book list, got 4.5 stars, 355 ratings. A heartwarming book about unconditional love and one remarkable family. You see how they're trying to construct this BS? Dyson loves pink, sparkly things. Sometimes he wears dresses. Sometimes he wears jeans. He likes to wear his princess tiara, even when climbing trees. He's a princess boy. Look at him, so whimsical, so beautiful. Look at his tiara crown queen thing. Inspired by the author's son, by her own initial struggles to understand this heartwarming book is called for tolerance, an end to bullying and judgments. The world is a brighter place when we accept everyone for who they are. The language of this just escapes the accountability of a parent. It should not be a child's choice to have them pick a gender. This is really some scary shit. And also take a look at the page. Jacob's new dress. Julian is a mermaid. Crazy. Let's go take a look at the author. This woman is a native Seattleite mixed with African American and Caucasian heritage. Listen, I don't know what you got going over there in the West Coast, but y'all gonna have Portland, Seattle, some parts of Cali. Y'all are bugging over there. It's way too liberalite in those places for me. A social and business entrepreneur. She's a founder of whatever, founder of authenticity.org. Oh, so it sounds like, authenticity through logic is what it sounds like. And a newly published author of My Princess Boy. Whatever. There's a website here. Please go to, let's go to a website. Damn. Another young boy bites the dust. This is just so crazy to me. Utilizing the children for profit to push some newly found profitable version of doing content, changing the genders, the sex of your young child. It's so ridiculous to me. And there might be some people that's watching this video like, MTR, what's the big deal? Why is this so important? Why does this matter? I'll tell you why it matters. I'll tell you exactly what this can turn into. Well, if it isn't the devil worshiper himself, and it all comes full circle. They get confused, infused with trauma as a young person, which then increases the likelihood of them being a confused, devil-worshipping adult. This is the fall of society. This is the fall of Rome. We're witnessing it in 4K, and there needs to be people that stand up and take a stand to what's right and what is wrong. Here's another picture actually taken from this past Halloween of the womanification of the modern man today. As you guys are looking at right here, the young man on the left-hand sign is wearing a tutu. It says up here, I want to hear from the dads in the group, y'all doing this for your daughter. And I am not a father, but let me just answer from my perspective, hell no. My role as a father is to demonstrate being a man so that she has a shining example of what it means to be masculine. She has a shining example of what it means to be protected, provided for, while demonstrating characteristics that she'll be attracted to later on. What this demonstrates to her, or rather both of them, is that she has two mommies. So her example of what a man is now demonstrated by this. So this just introduces a degree of confusion that's just so insane. Like, how do you put on a tutu and still have on the hand tattoos and the gold chain on top of it? I think this goes to show why so many of the recent rappers in modern times today wear feminine things such as dresses and or paint their nails. But yes, another example of Satan officially taking over Halloween. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre @gmail.com. Now listen, real quick, before I get canceled, understand this. I understand that there's heterosexual people on this planet and there's homosexual people on this planet. What I'm talking about is this confusion of letting children just pick. It makes no sense. And especially at a time period when there's books placed in front of them in libraries that are further confusing them. If you raise a child to fight, it will fight. It will learn to defend itself. It will learn to be aggressive. If you raise a child to be a sweet, loving, peaceful child, then more than likely, that's what they will become. And if you allow them to just make things up, then their creativity will know no bounds. It is your job as a parent to parent. Until next time, you two. Peace.